Hey, Mrparka here to review the re-release of Found, which will be coming out September 16th or 23rd. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put the release date right up at the top in the headline. But this is getting released by Mrparka, which has released a bunch of horror films lately, including Inbred by Alex Channon, which is actually a pretty fun flick. It was originally released in 2012 under this release. It's directed by Scott Skermer. It's by based on a book by, I believe his name's Todd Rigby. I want to make sure I say that right. I don't want to give you guys any wrong information. Todd Rigby. I had never heard of the book or anything like that, and this movie caught my attention. Someone said something about it, I believe, on an independent blog. So I requested it for screener in 2012, and I watched it, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the best movies I've seen that year. And with the re-release and stuff, there's a lot of new added footage and stuff on here. There's new commentary with director and the writer of the book, which is very interesting. Opened my eyes to some of the things and the reasons and things like that. And it also has the full version of Headless on here, the 24-minute short that you will see in the film. It's actually very awesome to watch the full 24-minute short. Very nasty, very gory. The story of Found essentially follows a coming of the age, a 12-year-old boy who's coming of the age story, who's kind of finding himself. But there's a major twist in this. There's his older brother is a serial killer, so it really confuses things, and it adds a really strange element to it. The ambient musical score really helps with that. I mean, you can zone out, and some of the things that really help some of the emotional scenes in the film. A great emotional scene when the kid kind of loses one of his only friend, and he burns their thing they share together, the graphic novels, which is really kind of a sad moment to me, at least. And I think this really will attach to people that grew up watching horror movies as a kid. There's a great video store scene that is one of my favorite scenes. Any little kid will remember running in the video store and going completely crazy towards the horror section if they're anything like me or anything like this kid in the movie. But the movie does tackle some really serious, crazy, and disturbing stuff towards the end of the film. It picks up a big pace, hugely at the end, and shows some pretty gratuitous stuff in here. The strange thing to me is the relationship between the family members is very odd. At points, you see the love for Marty from, that's the main kid, you see the love from his mom, his dad, and his brother in there, but you also see some cruelty in there as well. I mean, this does kind of happen with parents, you know, sometimes they come hard on their kids and things like that. But it's a very strange relationship between brothers, because Marty's character starts to change, maybe not for the better. He's kind of being pulled at by his brother to do, not take anybody's crap and be for himself, which, but his brother is obviously not a great influence. So I don't want to give too much away or what happens, but it's definitely leading to disaster. It's a very well-made film with great special effects and great gore, and one of the films they actually rent, called Headless, is being made into a feature later on. And the special effects artist in this film is directing that. Headless is kind of like, in this, it's like their throwback to old, like, nasty late 70s slasher films, like a Maniac almost, something like that. And it follows a killer who screws human heads, eats the eyeballs, and chops off people's heads and things like that. So all nasty sleaziness and stuff like that. But I think the little kid in this movie did a pretty good job too, because I always feel it is kind of hard to find a very good, serious little kid actor. But this movie was kind of hard to find for a while. It was limited to 1,000, I believe, or something like that. And they sold out, so people were fighting over the copies, but it'll be readily available. And it's not very expensive, like 12, 13 bucks, finally, so people to see this. But yeah, I'd recommend this one wholeheartedly. I think it's one of the better independent horror films I've seen in recent years, and probably period. But really recommend it. Really like the ending. And for the most part, I enjoy the entire film. There's lots of cool stuff in there, and a really good coming-of-age story mixed with a horror film. So it's you get two great genres mixed with that aren't usually mixed together, and it does it well without muddling it up too bad at all, really. But that's Found. If it interests you, then check it out. There'll be links to purchase and other things below, and probably the trailer tacked on the end. Thank you very much for watching, and look out for Headless, and have a good one.
My brother keeps a human head in his closet. At one point, it had thoughts and feelings, and it kissed somebody it loved. Now it's just a bloody head and a bowling ball bag I hope I don't end up that way.
Do you want to be the kid that gets picked on? Or the kid that gets in trouble?
What if I hit Marcus back? What if it doesn't hurt him any?
Don't worry about Marcus. You shouldn't worry about anything.
You didn't have to do what you did, Marty. Kids get picked on. I'm sorry it happens, but it's not an excuse to attack someone.
You want to see something really scary?
Listen to me. Something is going to happen tonight. It's going to change everything. And I need you to stay out of the way.
Why?
Because I don't want to hurt you.
My life is starting to feel like a horror movie. And you know how they end.